I'm going to, for my community assessment, I am filming a crosswalk near my home at Norgate in North Vancouver. This is called a tactile hazard strip. It's used to make the edge of a sidewalk visible to a person with a visual impairment. You can see the color contrast. The problem is that this kind of a unit actually it works on all the corners. And very briefly, there are two types of curb ramps. The kind that I'm showing to you right now at 90 degrees are the Canadian Standards Association standard, and they're the safest. There is another curb ramp that actually is a fan that goes down to the road. And in that, there's a problem because people with visual impairments, without these tactile warning strips, can't tell when they've come to the edge of the sidewalk and they're on the middle of the road. The other problem of these curb ramps is that a person in a wheelchair with a curb fan ends up in the middle of the intersection and not in the crosswalk where they should be. So of the two different configurations, this is the safest. I'm going to show this tactile warning strip using two cards that are created by the CNIB. And I have an assistant here who's helping me. And these are the cards that the CNIB has created that helps us emulate certain types of visual disabilities. And then what I'm going to do is take one of the cards, and what we're going to do is look at this crosswalk with a visual disability called Macular Degeneration. And that's what this crosswalk looks like when a person has macular degeneration. When they have a cataract, that's what it looks like when they have cataracts. And the color is very faded. They cannot distinguish between the sidewalk and the hazard strip. Usually these come in different colors. The yellow is very common. Another color that's coming out more is a rust color. When a person has glaucoma, they see this crosswalk and hazard strip this way with no peripheral vision. So when they look out down the street, they see very, very little in peripheral vision and would not be able to see, for example, the car that's coming on the left-hand side until they're in the crosswalk. The next one that I want to show you is a diabetic condition called Diabetic Retinopathy, and the hazard strip looks something like Swiss cheese. And the last one is total blindness, where you can't see at all. I hope that that's been helpful. Now, one of the resources that is possible is a book I wrote for planners and engineers. And it was funded by the Olympics committee for the 2010 Olympics. And you can see I have done quite a number of graphic designs for sidewalk configurations. And one of the things I wanted to show you within this book, actually, there's two things, but first is the models for disability, the different stages of the evolution of the model for universal design. I participated and started at the very middle of this, where the model starts inside buildings, gardens, and parks back in 1984. And my work started in making and advocating for universal design. And one of the things that would be really helpful for our course is this range of abilities, physical and sensory, the risk factors. And this talks about the concept of a disability developing after an incident and what happens to a person's life and affects their quality of life. These crosswalks help on several counts for several different disabilities, and there's some technical things that I can't spend a lot of time explaining right now with this, but the raised domes in a linear fashion are the ideal configuration. Thank you, bye.